Modern imaging technology, in particular magnetic resonance imaging and positron emission tomography, have allowed us to gain an insight, relatively unintrusively, into how the brain appears to engage and function. We have made great strides in our understanding of how the brain works. Perhaps we can use some of these findings and apply them to our monkeys too. All babies are precious in Löwina's troop, as most of the females, except Löwina herself, and 3 of her youngest daughters are sterilized. The rest had all been caught and had their fallopian tubes ligated by the Wildlife Authority in Hong Kong between 2010 to 2020. This sterilization program is still ongoing as we speak. Löwina hasn't borne any babies since 2019, her reproductive life has probably come to an end. The bloodline now relies on Pepper and her other 2 younger daughters, Foxy and Fofi. They had 3 babies last year. But only one survives. Pepper's girl, Guahio. The other 2 died, and at the hands of their aunt, one of Löwina's older daughters, Beau. It really does seem Beau carries much weight around in the troop. Foxy seems to defer to her too, despite the death of her own son at her hands. So where does Beau come in the family? This Fluffy, she was just about 3 weeks old then. And there's Beau. Beau seemed just like any kids of Löwina, helping out Mum with her younger siblings there. And Löwina seems to trust her more, just like Bossy does to Bolly. Every family does have a kid who seems to be more capable, and I think Beau is one of those kids. Matriarch Löwina was perfectly happy to let Beau babysit her 3-week-old daughter, Beau's baby sister then. So far Beau was doing a good job for her mum. So trustful of Beau, Löwina had no qualm whatsoever to leave her daughter Fluffy with her entirely. And at the sound of a scuffle, or a possible threat coming, Beau took off to take Fluffy to safer ground. Higher. A wild boar. Not batting an eyelid, Löwina knew her daughter Beau would do the right thing. Beau was, and has always been, Löwina's most trusted right-hand man. That's another older daughter of Löwina, but she didn't get to babysit. I'd say Beau is a good babysitter. She knows when to give a baby more leeway, and to look out for any danger for it. And I think Fluffy trusts and defers to her. Beau appeared to be a loving sister, and a good caring daughter to her mother. A daughter a mother would always wish for. She does know how to care for a baby, and knows what's in their best interest. So it is difficult to reconcile it with this image of her. A real eye-opener, thanks to footage from JW, whom I haven't met yet. So Beau also kills too. And she has been doing so. going back to at least 2017. And by 2023, she had killed at least 3. And very likely 4 babies, including Floffy's firstborn in 2021, a precious baby girl. Beau was there, looking back. And that firstborn of Fluffy disappeared about a week or 2 later, never to be seen again. Now I think she had suffered the same fate as her baby brother and cousin in 2022. So Löwina has a killer in her daughter, Beau. And her victims' mothers, her own younger sisters, seem to be powerless against her, and more, they still seem to defer to her. And why hasn't Löwina done something to stop her most trusted daughter committing such cruel acts? Those were her grandchildren. We can only guess at best, but one thing is certain, these furry distant cousins of ours are capable of higher level of thought processes than some naysayers would want to admit. For instance, she was a good babysitter to her sister, but a tormentor to someone's baby, back in 2017. How did she come to decide whom she could treat differently? Her other sister, Pepper, obviously didn't trust her, and was seen holding to her babies until they were at least a few months old. What was the thought processes that allow her to reach such decision? There are elements of reasoning and subsequent judgment involved at arriving that decision with subsequent behavior adaptation. And Beau clearly knows what's required of her to be a proper babysitter. Babies that are related and not related to her, she acted differently in each case. She knows the difference between helping and not helping. So why did she extend the same treatment she did to those she killed, to the babies of her younger sisters beginning 2022, if not 2021, who are her own blood nephews and niece, leading to their death by starvation and dehydration? Something in her has become unhinged. She no longer saw them as related to her or not. and I can't help to think what clouded her judgment was jealousy. The green-eyed monster has struck. Sisters that she had helped her mum raise suddenly could bear babies, beginning 2021. A sister in her family, apart from Pepper, bearing baby was something she thought was impossible. Those cute little babies that her life should be all about. Bearing them. Raising them. We have seen how desperate and frustrated a sterilized female wants to hold a baby. It's in their nature, and when a desire is not fulfilled for far too long, it might extinguish itself, or it could ignite some other feelings. Possibly resentments and jealousy. Jealousy consists of a diverse set of emotions and behaviors and is hard to define, but generally, it is considered a feeling of desire, anger, resentment, fear or insecurity for what another being has in possession, which can be tangible or intangible. One form is romantic jealousy. In humans this is the most studied type of jealousy, though the neural basis of jealousy in humans is still not well understood. A large body of studies has suggested that jealousy of this type is mediated by the anterior cingulate cortex, the area painted red in the model. The anterior cingulate cortex or ACC lies in a unique position in the brain, with connections to both the emotional limbic system and the cognitive prefrontal cortex. The corresponding areas are also present in other primates too, including macaques. The ACC likely has an important role in integration of neuronal circuitry for emotion regulation. And it is also believed to be involved in more advanced behaviors as a result of certain emotion that are guided by internal representations of choice values that have to be maintained even when these choices are unavailable. For Beau, upon seeing a baby of her sister, what emotions had she gone through? And what choices did she made upon returning? These are fascinating subjects. But it is clear a higher form of cognitive process was involved. The more you think about it, it's not just a manifestation of maternal instinct. And was it guided and influenced by jealousy? This is something we could not prove, but jealousy does seem to be experienced by non-human primates too. TT monkeys from the New World are monogamous, a mating couple will pair for life. They exhibit what looks like jealousy behavior both in the wild and in captivity. Either one of the pair will guard and demonstrate hostility towards an intruding member of the same sex. By using magnetic resonance imaging and positron emission tomography of the brain, researchers at University of California, Davies demonstrated that the neuronal circuitry underlying jealousy in TT monkeys mirrors ours. The sample size involved 8 individuals, and the findings were statistically significant. After seeing a female pair mate next to a stranger male TT monkeys showed increased activities in the right lateral septum, left posterior cingulate cortex, and left anterior cingulate cortex. And decreased activity in the right medial amygdala compared to the control condition. Like our neuronal circuitry in romantic jealousy, the ACC also plays a pivotal role in TT monkeys as well. And reaching a decision upon receiving, identifying and analyzing both complex auditory and visual stimuli, involves no fewer than 4 well-defined anatomical regions in the brain, each with a specific and higher functions concerning emotions and cognition. Like ours, though not exactly identical in every way. I am not sure how applicable the findings are to our case, but it does appear we share some basic and primordial neural circuitry with our more distant primate cousins. And I don't think it's too far off to say that we also share some common emotions too. And that their and our behaviors can be motivated by a higher level of cognitive process more than some naysayers would admit to. What do you think, my dear viewers? Do you think Beau did it out of jealousy? Please leave your thought in the comment section below. Thank you for watching.